Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, Africa.
Hello and welcome, family, to another episode of Ask Dr. Mumbi. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life truly on your own terms. We really want to thank every single person that supports us on Patreon and enables us to continue to bring the Wake Up Africa news to our, to our family. That continue to bring our spiritual downloads, the spiritual insights that we have when we commune with our spiritual team to the family. All the messages that we get, it's such a blessing, and may you have extreme favor in your lives at such a time as this. Thanks to everyone that connects with us, either by liking our videos, sharing our videos, commenting in our videos. I really believe we're like some kind of big global consciousness grid, and there's so much proof of that, family. Like, did you know the Pope right now is in Canada? It's like Africa never happened. It's like it really worked. Like, we came together. Well, each of us went to our ancestors. However, it happened, family. We stopped something, and that has been such an encouragement for me. Which is why I've started the Unity communities. We've heard from over 300 people. Thank you so much, family. People from all over the world, Suriname, family. I hope you'll find someone in Suriname. Over 100 people in the divided states so far. Europe, Germany, Netherlands, the divided kingdom, Canada, Toronto, Montreal, Alberta, Caribbean, St. Thomas, St. Vincent, Barbados, and Bahamas. And in Africa, Rwanda, South Africa, Nigeria, Kenya. Actually, South Africa and Kenya, we've almost got enough of people to start to create our community. And the idea behind Unity Communities, family, is just for us to have a local community where we can start to try and come together, where we can come together. Let me just put, that's my intention, where we can start to meet people of like mind, because it is really hard because we're these brand new people. Our consciousness is in a different space, is in a different dimension. And hopefully through these unity communities, we can meet people of like mind, and we can create safe spaces for us to allow our consciousness to just expand. And we can also, for those who have been isolated for so long, just go out there and hang out with different souls of like mind. So that's the idea behind Unity Communities. There'll be a little clip at the end that explains it. So, okay, one of the questions I always get is, what does an attack feel like? How do you know when you're going on, under a spiritual attack? And people have, thanks to everyone that has shared their different stories with me of the various experiences they've had with spiritual attacks. And so I thought I would just do a video on what a spiritual attack feels like, kind of the steps to one. And what I've found, family, and please share your stories. Let me know if this correlates with what you think, or if you have a way that you know when an attack is coming. But when someone is launching a spiritual attack against you, the first thing you'll feel is either drowsy or sleepy out of nowhere, or you'll feel uneasy out of nowhere. Because literally, your spiritual gates have been violated. You see, family, there's so many dimensions in this one. It's like as I'm sitting here, there's Wi Fi waves that are just passing up and down. There's also radio waves. If I was to turn on to a radio, those waves are just out there already. And this is how the attacks and the darts of these witches and wizards work. Is they will send a negative wave towards you, a negative intention towards you, because they have mastered the power of their mouth. Either they'll use incantations, they'll use different magic, different elements, either fire, water, or something like a candle, which has all elements in it in one. And they'll repeat these things like mantras. So the first thing you'll usually feel is like a sense of like tiredness, a sense of like disorientation out of freaking nowhere. Although this happens a lot when you're, home alone, quote unquote, or when you're just in your own space, or you'll feel extremely sleepy. Then once that has happened, there'll be some activity in here, family, where either just out of nowhere, it's like thoughts have been implanted in your head. Because if you were to take a step back, those are not you weren't there. You weren't thinking that. And all of a sudden, you'll just feel things like an anxiety or a worry, just something that just a negative idea, like either about a person, a situation, or a thing. A negative memory will just pop in your mind. And what that does is it lowers your vibration. And if you allow yourself to now continue down that path, because now your spiritual barriers or your aura was like brought down with that feeling of unease, with that wave by sending that negative wave to you. Then now the thoughts were implanted to bring your mental defenses down. And then now the attack is launched. Some go through extreme anxiety for hours. Some suffer from mental distress. Some you'll become your own self-fulfilling prophecy. Or you'll be like, oh my God, something negative is about to happen. And so something negative does happen. But what we're unaware of, and you either, I mean, it depends on the power of the wizard. Some can actually feel physically ill. Sometimes a contract that was coming through won't come through. And it may not all happen at the same time, but you'll feel that spiritual attack. And usually it's to steal something from you, either to steal a blessing that's on its way into your life, steal the energy of a contract or a business deal so that they can take that energy and put it into their own business so that their own business can flourish. And this won't make sense if you don't see the world as energetic and vibrational. Like it's all about energy, and there's all kinds of energies that are interacting with our energy. And most of it, we just do it on a subconscious level because we just can't deal with all of it. So we leave it to our quote unquote spiritual team. So sometimes you'll feel the spiritual attack and you may not know what angle it's hit. And then depending where you're at, it may just ruin the rest of the day for you. Or you may just be sitting anxiously waiting for the bad news. But if you're in the know, family, if you're awakening, let me even just give you this golden nugget. If you feel any of this, if you feel any of this, from the minute you start feeling tired, just say whatever energy is coming my way, I boomerang it back. I return it to sender immediately. I rebuke any dart of the enemy. I rebuke any negative, hateful intention, words that are being sent against me, any negative meditations that are being held on me. I rebuke that. I mirror that energy back to them. When you get those thought implants, reject that. That's not you. And that's why you have to live consciously and you have to just do it. You may not see what's happening, but remember, as above, so below. So when you voice that physically, it does something energetically and it pushes back that energy. And someone was asking me, maybe I'll do a separate show on this, about is it bad to send back the death spells our enemies send to us because then we're on their level. We should just transmit. I mean, we're at war. Do people not recognize that we're at war? But I'll do a separate show on that about what it means to return to sender, to rebuke someone's energy, to boomerang it back, to mirror it back to them. But when you start to feel this kind of vibe, family, engage your spiritual world either by lighting a candle, by saying a quick prayer, by even saying your own mantra, like what I was saying, no weapon fashioned against me shall prosper. Every dart of the enemy is returning tenfold. Let it go, let one arrow go back with 10. Just start saying that vocally. Connect with your spirit. There's people who also like visualize like a golden light around them, a sun around them. There's some of us who like visualize walking into a fire and having that fire barrier around us. And I believe the reason we've gotten like so in the mud with these people is because we need this to deal with Babylon. We need to have developed these skills. It's almost like Superman stuff. You know what I mean? X-Men, Neo and stuff. Like you see yourself in a bubble of, it just becomes second nature in a bubble of light, mirroring everything, surrounded by mirrors that are just rejecting and repelling every negative dart of the enemy. You protect your vibration at all times and you become sensitive enough to know, oops, something's off. Whatever is off, you can ask spirit to reveal it to you. You can ask your guardian angels to reveal it to you. Or you can just say, but just by even saying something's off, you'll narrow in on what exactly is off. And what usually happens, family, is after the attack is over, if you have not done anything to reject that energy, to rebuke that energy, to mirror that energy back to sender, to return it to sender, to cancel it, I don't believe in transmutation because that means I have to take it in and like make, alchemist. I'll be an alchemist and turn it, a rock into gold kind of situation. Nah, we ain't doing all that. We're sending that energy back because it's a spiritual war. I may not be able to pull out my own gun. I may not be able to pull out my own arrow, but trust me, I'll send your arrow back to you. And what will usually happen, family, if you don't take the necessary defense measures, whatever it is for you, praying, whatever it is, do something. When you start to feel off, do something. And your whole learning and journey in that and unfolding in that will get way deeper. And you'll start to be able to tell the onset of a spiritual attack immediately and send it back and and continue. Keep it moving. You'll become a pro at it. You need those defense mechanisms. So we give thanks and praise to the Most High that we get those experiences and that, those individuals will soon be exiting our lives. But if you don't do anything, you will have something will happen. You'll get a phone call that a contract you wanted didn't go through, a transaction you were waiting for has been stopped or has been rejected or has been returned. Um, you know, some relationship that you felt was about to come in won't come in. Some blessing that you were sure of, you'd literally seen it in your dreams, won't manifest. You'll receive some bad news. It depends what area of your life that they have attacked you in because they don't just attack willy nilly. They're either going for your finances or your love or your health. So sometimes after that whole feeling, like in a day or two, you'll start to develop like flu-like symptoms, or you'll find yourself just like on zero energy, feeling extremely tired. And your health, all of a sudden, it can spiral, especially if you've got other things. Like if you're already not taking care of yourself, if you're already not sleeping enough, if your diet isn't balanced, and then a powerful wizard sends you an arrow of ill health and you don't send it back, you're just like, oh, what can I do? That could take you down. That could get you to get some serious disease out of nowhere. But a lot of these things happen in our dreams, actually, family, through spiritual eating. And I'm going to share, I'll actually do a separate show on this, which is why before you sleep, you have to come into a system of protecting your dream life. So probably there'll be a part two to this. A part one was this about how you feel physically. I mean, in this, what they call the 3D world, how it actually feels when an attack is coming. Please share your own experiences, any insights that you have, family, in the comments below. I'll find you there. And next time I'll talk about where it initially starts, which is in your dream life. Until next time, Tuko pamoja. Looking for a conscious community, or for people, who are on their awakening journey, on their transition to an off-grid living in your country, well, we have the solution, family. We're calling it Unity Communities. We get so many emails every week from people who ask if I know of people in their region, or people in their city, or people in their town who are on a similar kind of journey, who have broken away or are breaking away from the religious psychosis, and they're looking for just people who think the same way in their town, in their city. But more importantly, to give us a community where we feel understood, understood, overstood, where we can bond with people of like mind. And if you feel called to be part of this, definitely email me at drmumbi at drmumbishow.com. Please put your country in the subject line with Unity Communities. Get in touch with me, drmumbi at drmumbishow.com. Unity Communities.